This is the most fun I've had without lube.
Welcome to Cast into Hell, a podcast where three dudes in their 30s watch horror movies and pass final judgment. Will they ascend to heaven or be condemned to hell?
I'm Chaz.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm David. Let's not beat around the bush here, guys. What we're doing here, this is a podcast about an ever-growing, locked-in, infallible, perfect ranking list for horror movies. This is our self-indulgent list based on our vibes and not on any actual movie criteria as far as criticism goes, except for when it is absolutely based on objective criticism. Right, guys?
Basically,
Yeah,
we're the kings. What we say goes.
No, there's no set criteria for how we will judge these movies until we decide to judge them.
That's right.
And it'll vary from movie to movie.
Yeah, I mean, it'll come out naturally as we discuss them, why we think what we think. And I think that's where a lot of the fun will come from. But yeah, I mean, the big thing is we're bringing a movie every week and we're deciding what two movies does it go between on our big old list. And eventually we'll have a massive list that shows how every horror movie ever made was ranked. And that'll create some funny situations on down the road. At least we're hoping it will.
You say funny situations like this isn't a completely infallible without error list that we're building here today. I don't know.
You're right. We'll never make a single error.
This is the final list for all horror movies. Like once this is done, this will be the list.
To kind of get us started here, we made the, in my opinion, very frustrating yet necessary decision to watch 9 movies this week, and we'll be rapid fire ranking them so that when we do next week's episode, we're actually introducing number 10 to the list, and we're trying to figure out where in the top 10 it goes. So you never know. You could find out next week that amazing films that stand the test of time, such as Birdemic, Shock and Awe, are in the top 10 horror movies of all time. You may find that out. It may blow your mind, but don't worry. Like I said, we are infallible, so just trust us.
Yeah, I am very happy we set it on the name Cast into Hell because, man, I sure did feel like I was in hell having to watch all these in such a short time period. I mean,
yes,
the amount of work I didn't do.
I definitely forced my family to watch several of these, like when they were hanging out on Friday night, like, what do you want to do? And it's like, doesn't matter what you want to do. We're watching this terrible movie tonight. And everybody's like, God, okay.
So we each picked 3 movies with the criteria being they are talked to death. So we shouldn't need to dedicate a full episode to each of these films.
Right.
With one of them being a great classic horror film, one being an okay horror film, and one being a terrible film. Just the worst thing you could imagine. And I think based off the 9 movies chosen, we did a great job assembling our top 9 films of all time.
I am going to jump in there and say that I hated most of these movies. We'll get to that in a second. But also, I want to briefly talk about what constitutes as a horror movie, because that's a contentious thing that only dudes in their 30s would care about. But what is a horror movie? We had to make a call here, and basically we have some pretty objective criteria, and it is if Wikipedia says in its first sentence that it's a horror movie, it counts. Or if IMDb says that it is a horror movie in its first 2 genres listed. For example, the recent, as of recording this, movie Companion that's kind of been going around in the horror movie scene with Sophie Thatcher, the robot wife movie, that doesn't count because Wikipedia calls it a sci-fi thriller and IMDb calls it a dark comedy and I think a sci-fi as the first 2 genres. So that's not eligible for the cast. What would be eligible for the cast is Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, because first genre family, second genre horror on IMDb. At least
shivers
right
down
now.
My spine, dude. When Scrappy-Doo turns into the big monster. I've never been so
wrong
shocked.
Scooby-Doo movie. I just got to point that out to you, Aaron.
Yeah,
totally wrong.
Shoot.
Yeah, Scrappy's not in Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, but don't worry, we're gonna make you watch it at some point.
Wait, I've seen that one too. That one's good. It's got the cat ladies.
Yes, the cat ladies. They awakened something within me.
Yeah, everyone remembers that one.
goth women to this day is from the cat ladies. Okay,
Anyhow.
well, cool. So, did you say any meow? Did you say any meow?
I didn't, but I should have.
God. Okay. All right. Back to what's most important. We each brought 3 movies, like Chaz said. These are 3 horror movies. One's supposed to be good, one's supposed to be bad, one's supposed to be just okay. Unfortunately, I think most of you bastards brought me 3 bad movies. I gotta say,
That's a wild take. I just gotta say
that's a wild take. Okay,
I enjoyed
right,
a few of them.
I enjoyed a majority of this list. In
I
fact,
think I did too.
I would say there's 2 movies I absolutely hated, and
Same.
they were the ones you brought.
Well, okay, all right, okay. Let's jump
get into
into
it.
it. Chaz,
Yeah, I guess. Okay, yeah.
Chaz, what movie do you want to pop up first? Let's do round robin. You bring one, then Aaron, then me. We'll keep going until we're out of movies. Do you want to bring your objectively good one, or your objectively bad one, or your mid one?
I want to go mid tier because I want to talk about this movie a little bit. So my first pick for this, actually, it's the last movie I picked, but Saw. That's
Saw.
right. The start of one of the longest running franchises in horror.
Sorry, on a tangent here, but how many of these movies have now been turned into franchises? It's like all of them.
There is one movie on here that has no sequels.
So,
But Saw, directed by James Wan, came out, I think we said in 2006.
no, 2004.
2004. I overall enjoy this movie. It's not the best, but it's good. It does what
Actually,
it's trying to do.
You're
Yeah.
going to find out in just a minute that it is, in fact, the best movie of all time, according
That's
to this
crazy.
list.
Oh,
It's also the worst movie of all time.
It is also currently the worst movie of all time, according to this list of one movie I see before me. Aaron, when we were talking earlier, you said that this is the most 2004 movie to ever exist.
Oh my God.
What the hell do you mean?
I mean, just everything about it. The vibes, the editing. Oh, the editing. The
This
dialogue.
is such mid 2000s.
Yes,
Yeah.
the dialogue. Oh my God, what was the line that we pulled from it? It was
Something about
This
lubricant.
is the
Hold
most fun I've had without lube, I think was
Yeah, there was.
that's
This is the most fun
ridiculous.
I've had without lubricant. And then there was. I don't care if you covered yourself in peanut butter and had a 15 hooker orgy.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's the guy who wrote it. Yeah, the guy who wrote the movie is delivering
Yes,
that
Lee
line.
Winnell
And honestly, he sells
wrote
it. Like
the
he wrote
movie.
it for himself. He knew exactly how he wanted to deliver
Yeah,
it.
when he wrote that line, he's like, "There's no other man. I must bear this cross." Like, I don't want to go too long on each of these movies. We got 9 of them to talk about, but the my contribution to this is that Saw very quickly takes a right hand turn into the genre of torture porn and just being about how elaborately can we kill people in traps and shit like that. And what I think is cool is that this first movie is decidedly like, it's not that. This is a kind of, dare I say, God, I'm not going to say it's cerebral, but like it's got a cool twist. It's definitely unique for its time. And to your point, Aaron, it definitely is nested in that there's something that happens to all media in like post 9/11 in 2001, where all media starts becoming super edgy and dark for the sake of becoming edgy and dark. It was something that, like, I'm a really big avid comic book fan, and looking at Marvel comics, like 2001, there's a hard right turn where things just standards and practices go out the door, and it stays like that until Disney acquires them. And for the most part, I find, in my opinion, it does not hold up. But Saw's good, right? Like, it's good.
I
Saw
enjoyed
holds up
it.
because it's got a solid enough script. As silly as some of the dialogue is, the actual plot is engaging. And even though Lee Winnell is one of the worst actors, who's also in 2 of the movies on this list,
But then you got
everyone else
Carrie
around him
Elwes.
is doing a really good job.
Yeah, Danny
like-
Glover, Carrie Elwes. I mean, the cast. I forgot how banger the cast is in this film.
It's
Yeah.
really a better cast than it had any right to have. And that might also be because they saved money casting the writer as one of the leads.
Must have spent the rest of their money on peanut butter orgies, I'm assuming.
One of the biggest things that stood out to me in this film is like and one of the biggest ways in which you can feel the difference between 2004 and now. Who is considered a scumbag in 2004 is just different than now.
Yeah, for sure.
Like this guy, he's what? He's a surgeon who calls his patients patient, and that's bad. You're supposed to use their name.
He's not a caring enough surgeon.
He is a B+ father and almost, but doesn't cheat on his wife. And so he deserves everything he's got coming to him.
Or, well, no, he did cheat on his wife. I think it's implied they were having an affair and he was going to break it off in that one scene.
Okay,
but I think the affair was already occurring.
My impression was he almost did it and backed out at the last second.
I mean, that might be
wrong.
Valid, but it doesn't matter at this point.
Either way, doesn't deserve to get tortured to death. And also, he kidnaps the innocent wife and child. So, like, clearly Jigsaw is not a good vigilante.
I was just, are you about to tell me Jigsaw's not a good man? Like, is that what you're about to say?
He might be a bad guy.
Are you saying that people?
I'm not
saying that people with terrible heroin addictions shouldn't be thrown into pits of needles? Is that not how we should deal with them as a society?
Yeah, I guess I just feel like the philosophy of the movie is a little dated. Is kind of where I'm at.
Saw, you heard it here first. Best movie of all time, and also worst movie of all time. Aaron, what you got? What you bring?
Oh man, let's talk about the bad movie I brought first, and that is
great. I've been wanting to talk about this for like weeks.
There's a reason I picked it.
I finally watched it.
Box.
The Bird, the Box.
The Bird, the Box, the monsters. They make you want to die. They make you want to commit sewer slide.
We just made the choice not to say that word on air. I see. I was going to say it a lot, so I'm glad you really got out ahead of that.
Hey, you can say whatever you want, man. It's just I'm the closest one to Gen Z in this group, so I got to pick up on some of their slang. Got to stay young.
They make you unalive yourself.
Exactly. God, I hate that.
Yeah.
But anyway, the reason this movie pisses me off so much is not because it's some horrible travesty. It is boring. It is bad, but I don't get why it was so popular. I don't get why it was such a phenomenon. It has never made any sense to me that this terrible film, or at least bad film, just became such a sensation. And it really just feels so manufactured to me. Like, I feel like it was all a marketing ploy or something. And
for sure. You're right. When this movie came out, like, no one would shut the fuck up about it. I actually hadn't seen it, which is crazy. All I heard is, how good is it? How this is something you have to see it. It's so crazy. And like day after day, you'd see Facebook marketing on it. And, you know, I realized looking back, like the people who said this movie was crazy, the people who were fans of this movie are kind of, I would say it's like not the horror community. I feel like God, I don't want to be a horror gatekeeper. This is not a horror movie for like horror movie fans. Does that feel fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think also it's like you can feel that this is just an effort by Netflix to really push the idea that they made quality films.
That's
you didn't need to go to the theater. You can watch great movies at home on your couch. And this was one of those big pushes. And like that's why Sandra Bullock is the lead right after, like, I'm pretty sure right after an Oscar win. Yeah, I think the biggest travesty about the movie is it's just so boring and dull.
God.
Like if you could easily cut 30 minutes out of this movie and you would lose absolutely nothing.
Wait, does it have an over 2 hour run?
It's
I thought
like
it had
2 hours and
short.
4 minutes.
Because it's it's prestige cinema, so you have to make it over 2 hours.
I'm sick of that concept and belief. You do not.
Yeah, I agree with you. But what made it so much more boring is that they start with the end. They're like, hey, none of these characters are going to live. You don't need to get attached. And then we're going to make them all annoying anyway.
To me, the biggest tragedy of this movie is that it doesn't understand its source material. And there's going to be a lot of horror movies that are talked about over the course of this podcast that are adapted from graphic novels or, a traditional novel or, a play or something like that. And obviously, Bird Box is a very popular horror novel by Josh Malerman, and it's not fair to compare a movie to its book. They're different medium, and you can't do what you can do with a book with a movie, and you can't do what you can do with a movie with a book. But it did not fucking understand its source material. Bird Box is about a group of people trying to survive in a house that know that there's something outside that if they look at it, they will definitely die. And there's a paranoia aspect to it that's never touched on in the movie. I mean, these people live in total darkness 24/7. Every time somebody goes outside and comes back inside, these people grab brooms and go over every inch of the house, swinging brooms in front of them until they're sure that one of these creatures didn't slip in from the outside. There's this amazing, tense paranoia built up through the whole book about like, if we make any fuck up whatsoever, we all die. That's a conceptual difference. That is just not what this movie is about. This is a fucking
Sounds way
zombie
more
movie where there's not zombies. There's just stuff that you can't look at, right?
Yeah.
But it plays out like any zombie movie. Like, oh, the people are more dangerous than the zombies. Again, they just don't understand their own source material here. I don't know if they felt it wouldn't adapt to the screen, but they ruined a good book.
Yeah,
I'm
I gotta say,
pretty pissed off about it.
The lack of like monsters and the like, you pointing out like the fact that the humans are still the villains in the movie is kind of the most disappointing part. Like every time people would show up in the film to like ruin everything, I was just immediately bored with what was happening. That sounds way better than just mentally ill people are okay. It really demonizes the mentally ill.
It pissed me off so much. I didn't want to be like a woke scold or whatever, but it's like, so what does it mean to be crazy? Like anyone with any mental illness at all is suddenly, you become, first off, sane or whatever, and then you serve the monsters. And
any mental illness means you are possessed by a demon.
It's like, man, I was depressed for a summer, so I guess I'm safe, but I'm going to try to make you do it. I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
The whole thing
dyslexia has been fucking me up. I guess
it just kind of pissed me off. I don't know.
Yeah.
The whole concept felt outdated and judgmental and just shitty in like every way I can think of, really. And like, what is the movie about? Like, is it trying to say anything at all? You know, it pretends to be this serious horror movie, and serious good horror movies have something to say, and like they're using horror as their medium. This one's trying to say what? Like, you should care about your children. Like, that's like the closest you can get to a message out of this thing. It's like in the end,
I got
like,
no
I
message
care
out
about
of this
the children.
movie.
It's about
nothing
sacrifice.
It didn't understand its own themes.
The book is about what will you sacrifice for your children in a world where they're not really fit to survive anymore. And also, more importantly, the book is about like, how do you keep going for your children when grief is involved? And actually, there's a cool dynamic. I'll have to shut up here in a second, but Tom is not a lover of the protagonist in the book. He's just the leader of the house, undeniably. He's like the political leader, and she doesn't see how she can keep going in the world without him, but she does it anyway, not because she misses him, because she loves him, but because she has been able to rely on his decision making in the face of the apocalypse for 9 months, and now she can't. Now she has to make decisions. That's what the book's about. This movie sucks. Worst movie of all time. We agree. This goes under Saw, right? This
100%.
It's definitely
goes
under Saw. There's no debating that.
There's no world where this is a better film than Saw.
Hey, so far we haven't disagreed a single time.
Maybe
that will happen, I think, fairly soon.
Okay, sure. I'm feeling froggy here. I'll bring my mid-tier movie as well. I brought Paranormal Activity, the found footage demonic possession juggernaut from 2007, and I gotta say, I like this movie. This movie held up.
I agree.
I was surprised at how interested I was in it, because
same.
Yeah, it has this like grounded realism to it. Like, obviously it's a found footage film. The acting isn't necessarily like the best of the best, but you can forgive it because it's like people hamming it up for the cameras, the whole concept. Like,
for sure. Yeah, you're right.
Can we all agree that Micah is just like a dick? He was just the worst, and I'm glad he died.
Worst.
Spoilers. Sorry. I don't know. We'll edit that out.
No, I don't
spoilers.
spoilers. I don't know.
This movie is how old?
Yeah, 2007. This movie came out in 2007, but that was a film festival release, and it did not see an American theatrical release until 2009 from what I can remember. And I was a freshman in college in 2009. And I went to a fundamentalist evangelical Christian university. Gotta say, not to be controversial here, but not a group of people known for their critical thinking skills around the topic of demonic possession. And
what?
Yeah, I know. Listen, don't cancel us on episode 1. All I'm saying is Paranormal Activity may not be an accurate representation of the source material for demonic possession laid out in the Bible. Okay, let's move past it.
David, you are going crazy on me right now, and I need you to chill the fuck out. All right.
Listen.
Did we all go see this together in 2008?
I think we all went and saw Paranormal 2 together, but not the first one.
I actually think we saw the first 2 all together. And I think some of us might have even seen the third one together.
I like how y'all are like, that was a very moving and nostalgic moment.
Dude, it's like, I don't remember
Paranormal Activity. And I was like, I definitely wasn't there.
I remember distinctly you were there and you were driving.
I was driving. Sure. We saw a lot of movies together back in the day. So
okay.
But I really did enjoy this movie. I appreciated the amount of lore that they threw into this film to like build up a kind of universe.
Hold on. What I was gonna say though, this is the shocking thing. Okay, I knew people in 2009 that straight up believed that this was real. Like, I don't mean that demonic possession were real. I knew people that actually thought this was not a movie, that they thought that they found this fucking footage and sold it to like Blumhouse or whatever.
Wow.
I mean, but that happens every so often, right? Like Blair Witch was another found footage phenomenon.
Yeah, this was
this is a little less acceptable because of the internet existing at the time.
Yeah, but, and I gotta say, the whole like Blair, X walked so Y could run. I mean, this is kind of the reverse. Like, I feel like Blair Witch Project ran so this movie could walk, but it's still good, right?
That's a funny way to say it.
It is still a good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed my rewatch of this film.
Yeah, it was good up until the end, and I think I enjoyed it up until like the last literally 15 seconds. I don't know if you felt the same way as me, and I know David has something to say on that.
Backing up to what Chaz said with the amount of lore that they did, they made the very wise choice not to blow their load telling you who this demonic entity is. There are movies that can pull that off. There's another movie on this list that is no bones about who the demon is. This one kept it vague, and I thought that was very smart. It did not outline rules for demonic possession. It was, you know what, this is a found footage film, and there's no exposition dumping in this bad boy, and I appreciated that. You're right. The last 15 seconds of this movie suck dick. Actually, fun story. When we originally watched this movie, I remember reading the synopsis for it on Wikipedia because I heard that there were multiple endings to this movie. And I went on Wikipedia to look at them. And this is such a 2009 thing to happen, but it said Katie throws Mika's body at the camera and crawls seductively towards his corpse and goes down on his disco stick.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember looking at this with you.
And we were dying fucking laughing. But no, the ending to this movie, there are 3 if you don't know. We're gonna kind of be forced to rank the theatrical American ending, I think. But the main ending where she throws his corpse at the camera, she crawls up to it like a fucking golem creature, and then she does like a snarl and bites at the camera and her face changes. I hate it. I think the idea of like a demon changing like your facial features is tired. Even in 2009, it was tired. It's very tired today. I think that this demonic entity that is supposed to be smart enough to slowly take over someone's life also thinks it's a good idea to bite the lens of a camera is a bit stupid. And
it's just cheesy.
Yeah. It's cheesy. That's right. Yeah. Every other ending to this movie is 10 times better. There is the alternate ending that's on the DVD release. If you choose the alternate, has her commit sewer slide, as Aaron would say.
You can say the word. I can beep it if we decide that.
Suicide. Just let's get the little Halo, the Halo 2 You know what I'm talking about? The guy. Yeah, kill suicide. Yeah, okay. We're gonna say it a lot. Just don't be suicidal. Let's get that out of the way. All right. Back on track here. She kills herself with a knife, and that ending is a lot better because it's not nearly as cheesy. It unfortunately was nixed by Blumhouse. I kind of looked this up, but apparently they wanted to turn it into a franchise, and having Katie die at the end of it at all was a problem. So they nixed that and went with the ending that we all got in theaters. And there's an independent film festival ending, which is by far the superior one, where she kills Mika downstairs. You never see what happens. She comes back upstairs and kind of just sits on the floor in a catatonic state for about 2-3 days. The cops do a wellness check. They see her with a knife. She gets up and she goes, "Mika, what happened?" And takes a step towards them with a knife, and they blast her. I like that ending the best. It feels like something that was trying to take over your life to make you, I don't know, I'm assuming a demon wants to claim a soul for hell. It seems like having you just kill yourself is a bit too powerful. Like if it can just seize anyone and make them kill themselves, that's like not fair. But if I can trick you into like murder by cop, that's kind of a cool thing. It feels like what a demon would do. I like that ending the best, but we'll go with the cheesy one, for our list.
Yeah, it's obvious they had to do it for the franchise. Like that makes sense, and it's unfortunate because I do think you're right. The cop ending is the best.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because this movie shouldn't have been a fucking franchise. We'll get to it. Paranormal Activity 2 ruins the integrity of this film.
Most films should not be franchises. I will just say that now.
All three of these so far, franchises.
Let's do the bit. Let's put it on the list. Where is it? Okay, this movie's better than Bird Box, right? Like no bones about it. This movie's fucking better than Bird Box. Question is it better than Saw? Hot fucking take. If you made me ask me which one of these I'd want to watch again tomorrow, it would be Paranormal Activity. I'm not saying it's a better movie than Saw, but I like this movie better than Saw.
I think Saw's technically a bit more rewatchable just because it's got a more engaging story. Mm-hmm. But I did really enjoy this more on my more recent rewatch. So I would actually put this above Saw because I think it's just a better horror film overall.
Yeah, Saw's like less of a horror. Like Saw's almost like not a fucking horror film, right? Like Saw's almost like 7. Like, is it a horror movie or is it a fucking dark detective mystery?
Like, it barely makes it like because of the gore, which even in the first Saw is not really all that prevalent.
Saw has its share of dumb shit too. I mean, obviously it does, but like I don't know, like Danny Glover's whole character seemed goofy to me. I don't know. Paranormal Activity is a tighter story, told well, with just a few nitpicks.
Probably more iconic and influential, right? Like this definitely inspired like a shitload of clones we found.
I don't know. I think Saw's more influential. I think
they're both
like
up
the
there.
reason we say it's the most 2004 movie of all time is because it inspired all of those other 2004
Yeah, Chaz
movies.
is totally right.
Okay.
It's the
I'll
template
concede to that.
And Paranormal Activity is not the template.
Blair Witch is the
template. Yeah. Paranormal Activity.
For sure.
I'm still fine with putting this above Saw though.
Aaron, how do you feel about that?
I would probably put it a little bit below Saw. I think Saw is a little bit more interesting, but I don't feel strongly.
I could go either way with Saw or like I see where Aaron's coming from. Like, yeah, I do think Saw is technically the better movie. It's the more rewatchable because Paranormal Activity gives me the vibe. But it does give me the vibe. It's better
the vibe.
It's more.
I guess David is the tiebreaker, and it sounds like you're leaning towards Paranormal Activity.
I would put it. That's a wild fucking take. Like this is gonna piss people off. Episode 1. They're gonna think that we are just infallible, without error. The judges that cast movies into hell. Fuck it. Paranormal Activity is better than Saw. In fact, it's the best movie of all time according to this list.
Oh my god! I do really like Saw though. Like, I don't know. I really enjoyed that watch.
I don't want to shit on Saw too much. Like, it's a fun movie. It's just, I think Paranormal's, it's scarier.
I was
and
more
that's kind of
engrossed in
what
it, too.
Edged it out for me.
Saw is only 33% worse than Paranormal Activity according to this list. It's okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm checking the Rotten Tomatoes. Saw sits at a 50%. Wow, that's low.
That's very low. That's why I don't like Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm just curious, though. I'm just wondering how
is
hot
that
our
critic
take
or
is.
audience?
Critic score. Paranormal Activity is sitting at an 83. So maybe it's not as hot of a take as we think it is.
Maybe we are infallible. Maybe we are.
Well, we
fit.
are. We do know we're infallible.
That's true.
It's not a maybe. We
Yes.
said it at the top.
Doesn't the fact that I didn't know I was infallible imply that I'm fallible?
No.
Oh, okay. Chaz, what's your next movie?
Chopping Mall.
Chopping Mall.
It's got to be Chopping Mall, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Let's fight about it. I hated this movie.
Dude.
love this film.
It was
so
fun.
fucking fun.
It was goofy. It was silly.
I don't like
it was enjoyable.
fun. I hate fun. When I watch a horror movie, I want it to be, I want evil personified. I want to see. I don't like these cheesy like movies like The Ghoulies and shit like that. It's not for me. I respect it, but I don't love it.
It was better than Bird Box.
I gotta say, like it is to me better than Bird Box.
Don't
hot take. I'd rewatch this over Saw and Paranormal Activity any day of the week.
You're prematurely eranculating. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute.
Sorry, but
speaking of,
there's not that much to say about it. It had some fun cinematography. It had some funny lines. It was not a great movie, but it didn't try to be a great movie. I enjoyed it.
It knew what it was. It executed it perfect. Like this to me is the cream of the crop when it comes to like B movie. Like it does everything it's supposed to do, and it does it well. Like the acting's not so bad that you can't like enjoy it. It's just campy enough that you're like, they knew the assignment. Everyone's overacting and like really playing into their stereotype, you know? You get weird scenes of like people singing as they take their tops off right before they have sex. Like
that's definitely true.
It's great.
Having
and
sex,
you also
the
have a
ultimate
movie
sin.
called Chopping Mall where no one gets chopped.
I didn't think that.
That's definitely
Right, there's
true.
not a
Nobody
single
does
chop.
get chopped. Yes.
There's a lot of
Like,
getting
it's crazy.
exploded.
Yeah, laser shot, explosions, but not a single person gets like cut up into bits by these evil.
That's true.
They remind me of your mother.
They're simply
It's
doing
the
their
laser
job.
eyes. There's
The
some
laser
good
eyes.
lines. There's some good lines. Also, those two characters never came back. I thought they would have some kind of role in the movie, but no, they're there to utter those three lines and then never be
They
seen
are
again.
apparently involved in the production of it because they're also like the first fucking people credited at the end of
they're
that
the most
movie as
famous two
well.
people in the whole movie.
I was just saying, like they either put most of the money into that budget or
Yeah, Chopping Mall is a cult classic, though. It's become really popular lately. I think that's why
Apparently, that's
Chaz
definitely true. Yeah,
it's very good movie. Like anyone who's not seen it, do watch Chopping Mall.
That's the
watch it with
quote.
friends.
it's a very good movie. Chaz Scoble 2025.
It's very good.
It's very good movie.
Hey,
Better than
look.
Bird Box.
All I'm saying is this is top 10 horror film of all time as of today.
It's gonna be top goddamn 4 of all time is what it's gonna be. But
Yeah, it's gonna be top 5 for at least 2 more rounds. Chopping Mall, good,
Jurassic Park,
boobs.
scariest movie.
fun.
Be like Dino.
The dinosaur food. Anyway,
Anyways,
Chopping Mall is
it's above Bird Box.
It's above Bird
It's
Box.
above Bird Box.
It's gotta be
I was
above
gonna
Bird
Box.
say
Below
one more thing I hated about this movie is that it has a lot of tits in it, and the version that I saw blocked
That's any
them out.
version of the movie. Let me just tell you.
They was
What?
just mad they blocked it out.
Yeah, they
Oh,
blocked,
they blocked it out. Oh,
Yeah, no, that's
they
what I'm
did
saying,
not
dude. I
block it in
watched
my
this-
cut.
I watched this using my YouTube Premium subscription,
Oh.
and they blocked out the tits on
Oh.
every time, and that's
Well-
not the America that I want to live in personally.
You watched a bad cut of the movie, and I'm sorry, you did not get the full experience.
I didn't get the
'cause
tits.
I saw all
Yeah.
the tits.
All of them,
I
all
did
of them.
too. It
Every
was
single
not
one.
what drew me to the movie, but it was there.
Those
It definitely
people
heightens the
also-
quality of the film.
It definitely matches the genre.
They look 25 years older than me, and they are like supposed to be like 19
High school
at
students.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for
Yeah,
the lead
maybe
actress who
freshman
looks
college.
all of 14. But
Yeah.
other than that,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's a horror movie. It's a horror movie from the 80s, especially. Like people are they're gonna have sex and then they're gonna be killed for it, as they should.
This movie, there's probably an interesting conversation to be had about like when something becomes horror and doesn't, like not the IMDb definition, but like a horror movie is meant to cause you to feel like a sense of dread or horror. I feel like that's a common definition. I'm not going to say that's a perfect definition, but that's one that you hear a lot. And I don't think this movie had that intent.
It
that's
doesn't
probably,
do that at all.
This
No,
movie
it
was
doesn't.
closer to RoboCop than it was to Paranormal Activity.
I would never tell you this wasn't a horror movie. Like it is, but like I could be convinced that it wasn't, because it's definitely closer to something that was made to make you laugh than it is to make you scared. And there's a whole subgenre of horror that's like that. There's a whole like horror culture of these cult classic B movies like Killer Clowns from Outer Space and all that kind of shit. And that's what they do. And I can't fault them. This movie does exactly what it wants to do. I just didn't want it to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want that from the movie, like this is not gonna be for you.
Yeah,
but if you
it's not your
want
thing.
camp, if you want camp boobs and just some decent
Well, I didn't get
schlock,
the boobs.
like this is kind of the best you can hope for in terms of like this subgenre of horror. This
Yeah.
is like, if we were just doing B movie like horror films, this would be number one for a very long time, I think.
Fair enough. I'm feeling a strong better than Bird Box, worse than Saw here.
That's the vibe.
That's
Yeah,
the vibe.
I wanted to, like, if we were doing a full episode on Shopping Mall, I'd try to argue it just to draw it out, but it's definitely not better than Saw.
Okay. Thank you for your sacrifice. I appreciate it.
I do want to just say one last thing, because Aaron brought it up, that forever this will now be my headcanon that this is set in Detroit and in the world of RoboCop.
Doesn't it have
Oh,
that
yeah.
vibe? I'm not like
It
they
does.
look
You're
like
not wrong. Like
Cyberdyne.
it's like the first version of like the TI-83 or
Yeah.
whatever.
That's a calculator.
I know.
That's a
I couldn't
calculator.
remember what the real thing was, so I just went with the calculator.
That's good.
Okay. All right.
Let's
Let's
rock
get
it
on
out.
with life. Aaron, you brought another movie.
Yeah, I actually forgot I brought this movie. I was like, who brought that movie?
Oh.
And I was like, oh, it was me. Insidious.
Insidious. Another James Wan film.
Yeah.
Yep. Another like moment of him defining what horror will be for most films at the time it released, I'd
Yeah.
say.
So
yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
we've got two sort of categories of movies forming here. We have movies that are actually movies and movies that are something else. This is a production film made with a budget. It's competently shot. You know, it's an actual real film worthy of looking at and discussing versus like
Yeah.
a Shopping Mall or a Bird Box. Oh, I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
Bird Box is a real movie too. It's just the shittiest of them.
It's just
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
I thought it's competent. It's good. It has some good scares. I just think I am now at a time where I'm bored of the jump scare as a concept in general. And this one,
Ooh.
oh baby, did it have a lot of jump scares?
Okay, I'm going to touch on that. Jump scares are part of horror's legacy. They are a cultural touchstone for what makes a horror movie for a lot of people. Not that they have to have that, but they are a tried and true tradition of the genre. And just like anything else, okay, ice cream's great, but if you went to a restaurant for dinner and all they had was ice cream on the menu and you wanted a meal, you would think that restaurant fucking sucked. And that's why Insidious fucking sucks, is because it's all jump scares and none of them are earned and none of them are particularly hard to see coming. And I think a movie like Jaws has one of the most iconic jump scares of all time when they're doing the diving scene and the dead body kind of floats out and you hear the little musical cue that's like as the body comes out. Like that's an iconic jump scare. It's the only one in the movie. Things are already kind of feeling claustrophobic and tense and it works. But man, this movie is jump scare after jump scare after jump
Man.
scare after
Yeah.
shitty CGI demon jump scare. And
I guess I'm going to be the unpopular voice here. I love this one. I really
don't
enjoyed
even
Insidious.
think you're wrong. You're not wrong for liking this movie. This movie's influence cannot be understated. The Conjuring comes after it, and then that whole fucking universe that spins out of it. There's a million films that, again, this movie walked so that
Well, I think
those
there's something
movies
to
could
be said
also
about
walk,
like
in my opinion.
James Wan, like especially like we saw his first movie, and then we like skip a few of the movies he made in between, and we get to Insidious, and this is where I think you really start to see him come together as a director, as he
Yeah.
really starts to put his style into the films, like
Yeah.
starting with like the tracking shots of like the person walking through the whole house, so you have a feel for the area that they're going to be running through as like
Sure.
ghosts start to appear.
One thing
Sure.
that really stood out to me along with cinematography is the sound design. The sound design is really, really good. There's like a bunch of tense atmosphere created by what sounds they choose to use and when they choose to use them. I do think that
Yeah.
their hand is overplayed with the jump scares. But yeah, Chaz, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's
Go
fair.
ahead if you had more to
No,
say.
no, I think that's another great point. Like I think what this movie does well is create a kind of sense of dread at points. Are there a bit too many jump scares? Yeah, but like I just don't mind it because I still love the concept. I still love the way the movie shot and acted and the sound design. Like the movie just works. It's just a well-made movie that is super entertaining to me.
This isn't going to be a problem today when we go to rank this, because I think we're all going to agree where this movie slots. We'll get to that in a second, but I have a very different take on this movie, dude. I could not wait for this movie to be over. And I find that really wild because I loved this movie back in the day. Back when 10 years ago, 15 years ago when this movie came out, I was really obsessed with like the canonicity of the horror genre, and I wanted to see all the big ones, and everybody had their top 100 of all time list, and I wanted to make my own list, and like damn sure this one was going on the top 100 movies of all time. Today, I don't get this movie, man. This movie is not for me. I don't think the story works particularly well.
Man,
It seems like the story. It seems like
ambitious.
they came up with the scares and wrote the story around the scares rather than writing a story and figuring out how to make that story compellingly scary. And that's a sin that's hard for me to get past, but that's okay. Listen, I have a podcast with one episode deep, and James Wan is one of the biggest horror directors of all time. So I get it.
2 films on the list.
But I am
episode 1.
infallible as a host of this podcast.
So you don't like the scene where the guy who looks like Johnny Depp just kind of wanders into the room and he just kind of looks like he's lost. And then the girl goes, and he looks at her and goes, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be scaring you. And he like lunges at her.
He gives like, oh, hi, Mark to me. Like that's what he looks like to me.
But that shit cracks me up because everything else is like a scary demon. And this is just like a guy. Like it's just a guy.
Yes, dude.
Well, some
And,
of them
like-
are just people. Like there's the kid and then like the family.
This movie has the plot point that the reason all these things are in the house is because the little kid whose name is honestly fucking inconsequential and I can't remember is stuck astral projecting, and all these spirits know that he's astral projecting, and they're like, I must get this empty husk of a body so that I can live again. Like I love that this dude in a duster, number one, the house has got like 12 rooms and he's in that one. Like he's like, oh, this is definitely where the empty husk is. Like he can't figure it out, or he's on the goddamn porch for a long time and then he wanders inside. You're telling me that all of these spirits in this house, none of them can find out that the little boy is in the bedroom like asleep?
So I would argue it's not about just finding the body.
It's not, but I'm being funny here.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut your joke.
No, it's not. But I also
I'm
find it
being
even
funny.
more
Please
hilarious
laugh.
that this. Please clap. Yeah, it's even funnier. No, it's even funnier that this dude is like, I am so desperate to be alive again that instead of being a 40-year-old man at a duster, I want to be a little boy. I love that.
I think the scariest part of the movie is when Qui-Gon Jinn got stabbed through the chest. That made me really sad. You get it? Because the guy looks like Darth Maul.
I didn't get it.
No.
She explained it, but
You
yeah,
get
he's
it?
Darth
It looks
Maul
like
for sure.
Darth Maul?
We called him Darth Maul the whole time. I watched this movie with my family who love horror movies, and one person I watched it with fell asleep, and the only other person who remained awake was also begging the movie to end. Maybe it's just not for me. I'm feeling a better than Bird Box, better than Chopping Mall, worse than Saw. What do you guys feel?
I would put this above Paranormal Activity as number 1.
Oh, I said this
legit-
wasn't going to be a problem. And
I don't know why, because I legit said I'm gonna be the upsetting voice here.
no, that's
This
what this
is
is all
the
about.
best movie on this list so far.
I
Hands
don't.
okay.
down.
It was a
you
good
had me
movie.
scared.
I don't know. I don't feel super strongly about it. It was decent.
If I put this above Saw, it would be a concession. This is what's going to be great. At some point, we're going to, later on down the line, there's going to be times where we each feel that this movie should be plus or minus 25 positions on this list. And we're going to have to compromise by putting it about 12 positions in the middle. And it's going to cause problems for future ranks. And that's what's great.
Both of your complaints about this movie are valid. I just don't agree with a single one of them. I think this is a super entertaining, fun, rewatchable horror film that is so well made and executed. Is it perfect? No, but it's like the start.
We need to talk about whether things being dated is a mark on them, because
It's the vibe. Just whether or not it's a
Insidious-
vibe.
the jump scares were not as overdone back then, and I remember being very scared by this movie. So,
You
but now
probably
I've
remember
seen
being
so
very,
many others.
I know this is
16
just
though,
about our
right?
opinions,
Yeah.
but I also think the average audience member of watching this movie would enjoy this film. I also think, David, for you specifically, went into this movie with a negative attitude, because I know you had already told me years ago you did not enjoy this movie on a rewatch.
That is true, but also I don't think it's a fair assessment that I went into it with a negative attitude. I first watched this movie back in the day, thought it was great. On a rewatch, thought it didn't hold up. And on the watch that I did for this pod, thought this will be fun to watch with the fam. And I just didn't have fun with it.
I don't know. I think maybe I liked it better than Saw, but I don't think I liked it as much as Paranormal Activity, which is crazy because I went into Paranormal Activity thinking this is going to be cheesy. I'm going to be bored. And I just
had the
wasn't.
same
I was
thought.
just entertained.
I'll compromise and agree it's better than Saw, and we don't have to put it above Paranormal Activity. I don't think that's right, and I want that on the record, but I'll agree to it for the sake of moving on, because I
Aaron,
feel like
edit
that's
that
where
out.
we can agree.
Edit what out?
Aaron, go ahead and edit that little rant out there.
I was going to edit
Fuck
out
you.
everything Chaz said and just have the
Okay, yeah,
podcast
just
with me
edit
and
me
Dave.
out completely and just be like, yeah, this movie's on the list.
Chaz is just in the
Le-
cover
leave
photo,
in
but he's not-
references to me, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
Like,
sure.
anytime
I'll
you
respond to
mention me,
shit you
that's
do
it.
not say. This movie is objectively better than Bird Box and Chopping Mall. I do not really particularly have strong feelings on whether or not it's better than Saw. I have very strong feelings that it's worse than Paranormal Activity.
I can, if this might help with your objective feelings on it being better than Saw, it's just a movie he made later on in his career, and I think he got better at making movies. It's
I'm-
better written. It's better executed, and it doesn't.
I'm fine. 100%.
feel-
I'm fine.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm changing my mind. I like Saw better. I keep thinking about Saw. Saw is iconic. Saw is cool. I'm on David's side. I think I liked Insidious a lot better than David did. I like Saw better. I can't in good faith put Insidious above Saw. I can't do it.
What about in bad faith? Can you do it in infallibly bad faith?
because here's the thing: I dropped it from above Paranormal Activity.
I
To
think we
put
should
it above Saw, and,
compromise.
I need that compromise because I'm meeting you halfway, and now you at the last second you're being like, nah, fuck
All right,
that.
fine. Yeah, it's a compromise. If it's a compromise, that's fine. I
It's
think
a
it's around
compromise.
the level of Saw, but I think Saw is more iconic. That's kind of how I feel about it.
I'd agree. Saw's more iconic. I just don't care about iconism.
Fair enough.
We're gonna have a
Iconography.
ton of movies that are iconic that we are not gonna be ranking high. In fact, we'll get to it. I don't want to spoil what's to come.
Hey, we put Juan above Juan. Who can be mad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Does
if
that make
anything,
him two?
he does. He deserves to be right next to himself in terms of the ranking.
That's right. You're as good as you were, bitch.
You've been
yeah.
cast into the Juan zone. If we ever seen anything in that
The
area.
That will definitely be one of the rings of hell. It's just dedicated to films on level with James Wan.
Okay, moving on. I brought another movie. We have all saved our objectively good movies for the end. So I guess
think-
I will
Oh
not
God.
break that, and I will go. No, guys, I brought the Human Centipede, the first one, the movie where people's mouths are sewn to anuses and are forced
today, dude.
to eat the shit of the
Ugh.
people before them. Look, why did I choose this?
Because it was
because
bad.
because it's bad. It's objectively bad, and a lot of people have talked about it. And even if nobody had talked about it, there's just nothing to fucking say about this movie. So it seemed like a great one to put on the list to build a base, because I don't have much to say about this movie. This movie is called The Human Centipede, and it has a goddamn human centipede in it, and that's my criticism of it.
I will say, like, it is good to get it out of the way, because I would not wanted to have dedicated a full episode to this.
There we go.
Piece of
what is there
trash
to talk
film.
about? I mean,
Yeah.
I could talk about all the ways in which I hate it, which are numerous and plentiful.
I would say this is everything that I think people who don't understand horror look at, like, this type of movie, and like they can feel justified in hating the genre as a whole.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
this is
right.
a disgrace to the genre in pretty much every facet in my
This
eyes.
is a
Just
disgrace
what's
to
it trying
film,
to-
right?
Yeah, what is it trying to do? Like every other movie on this list is trying to do something. It's trying to scare you. It's trying to mean something. It's trying
to gross you out.
Yeah, this was just trying to gross you out. That's it. And I was
This
grossed
is-
out, so I guess he succeeded. Top of the list.
You know-
Like, to me, this is like schlock done the worst way possible, where it's not trying to it's kind of trying to be campy, because like there's the moments where it's like, oh, here's this weird character who's just super pervy for no reason,
Yeah, for sure.
but like it
doesn't
doesn't
go
just
all in on
comes across as actually being perverse without any kind of payoff
Correct.
for that
Uh,
perversion.
and it's so,
Yeah, so-
boring.
It's boring. That's its greatest
Oh.
sin. That's its greatest sin, is that it's boring. And its second greatest sin is that its purpose is to gross you out. And I got to be honest, boys, I wasn't that grossed out. I'm not saying it wasn't gross. Did it make me feel like I couldn't handle it? No.
Yeah.
Like, it was watchable. I mean, I
Saw
didn't
does a better
like
job
it.
of making me think I
Yeah.
can't handle it, and like Saw's fairly tame.
It doesn't do what it accomplishes. Acting is bad. Cinematography forgettable.
Writing's awful.
I watched it with my partner, and like she the whole time was like, "This is porn, right? Like this is what like before the porn looks like."
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what it
it's-
feels like.
Yeah, like in terms of quality and script and everything. The mad scientist. We're losing the plot here, but you're telling me that this guy is both the best surgeon in the world and a competent anesthesiologist? Like, no, this guy wouldn't be qualified to like.
David, your mind works
administer-
in insane ways. How
I
is that
know.
what you're talking about right now?
No, I was gonna make that same leap of logic.
But okay, here's another insane leap of logic for you. The one thing that I cannot the first time I watched this movie, I thought this, and the second time, and to be clear, there will not be a third time, but the second time I watched this movie, I also watched this. There's this part where it pans over the dog centipede. I was trying to say the human dog centipede. That's not what it is.
Three dog.
The three dog. Every time it pans over that and it goes, my sweet three dog, all I think of is three dog.
Like Fallout 3.
Yeah, Fallout 3.
I was
That's what I think
I was
about
thinking the
every
same
time.
thing.
Yeah. I don't like what it wants to accomplish. Okay, it does not want to accomplish something that I agree should be accomplished, and even worse, it fails to fucking accomplish it. I was bored, and I just kind of felt dirty, but not in like, oh, do you see how dirty this made you feel? Are you comfortable in your society? It's like, no, it's more like I just worked out and need to take a shower and get this grime off of me. But it's like not even the worst grime I could feel. It's not like it made me really feel something. Worse than Bird Box, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is the worst film on the list, and I think it'll stay there for a hot minute.
The only message I could get from it was to avoid German people at all costs.
Well, you know what, dude? Low key, shout out to our German listeners, of which there
There are
probably
many.
is none of you.
I was trying to think of even a single positive thing I could come up with for this film. And like
Yeah.
the closest I could come up with was like
The end
set
credits.
design.
Yeah.
But like even the set is fucking boring.
There's
It's
some-
just a white house with nothing in it.
There's some okay shots.
Yeah,
There's a couple moments where they're trying to be artistic and they're doing an okay job with how it looks. But
Yeah, it's,
for the most part, it just looks like the inside of a hospital and not in a interesting way.
boring all around.
Bottom of the list that goes. Chaz, what's your good movie?
My good movie is the slasher classic Halloween by John Carpenter.
Yeah, 1978. Jamie Lee Curtis looking 56 at 19 years old, I will say. Like,
Yeah,
it's wild.
It's that weird thing where hairstyles and the way people dress is like one of the
Yes.
main markers you have for how old
Yes.
someone is. And so they just all look so old. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis, I'd kind of just picture her as perpetually like 55. And so
Yeah, and she's much older, right? She's got a bell curve of age in her appearance in movies. Like, if she's older, you shrink her down, and if she's younger, you age her up.
But this is the first time I'd ever seen her young. And so that was just weird for me in general. Like, some people are just supposed to be old forever. Like, if I saw Steve Martin at age like 16, I'd be like, what the hell, man?
He did have gray hair at 16.
Yeah,
so
white hair. Yeah.
He looked the same. No,
Okay.
I enjoy this movie. Not a hot take. Like, it's good. And that's that. All right, great.
Aaron, should we tell him?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
How do we break the news?
Oh, y'all hated it? Like, absolutely?
I don't hate it.
Yeah, hate's strong.
Nothing
Okay,
happens
well,
in
that's
this
kind of
movie.
where that felt like you were going with it. So
Well,
what
because
is-
you said hot take, this movie's good, and I'm sitting there like, well, how about hot take, this movie? I don't get it. I'm not gonna say it's bad, because here's the thing: it's shot well. It's shot cool. Maybe not well. I don't know. I'm not really.
I think
qualified.
it's shot well. I think John Carpenter is a great director. Like,
Fair enough.
The
Yeah.
more movies I watch of his, the more impressed I am by what he did
I'm not saying
during
it's
the
not.
70s and 80s. I think he's great. And
I'm more saying I don't know that I'm not a good critique of cinematography. It's not something that immediately jumps out to me. But I can't say that it's bad, and it has some cool shots, like the through the mask shot at the beginning of the movie with the 2 eye holes where he kills his sister. That's a cool fucking shot. I do not know if it's a good shot, but it's a cool shot.
Cool's all that matters.
that's kind of
right.
what determines a good shot.
Yeah.
Like,
You're right.
Was it cool? Do you think about it the next day? You're like, fuck, that was awesome.
Yeah,
I will say, I think that the opening sequence is the best part of the whole movie.
that's 100% true. You're not even close to wrong.
I'd agree. Like, I mean,
Because it's paced well.
this will come to another Halloween movie we'll do later on, where the opening is the best part of the entire film. And I think it's even like a better opening than the opening of this one. I don't want to spoil anything because
Sure.
I'll suggest it eventually. But this opening is kind of great. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's an iconic opening too. Like, I saw this movie probably 15 years ago, back when I told you I was obsessed with watching all of like the big canon greats of horror. And this is one of those that when you hear people, you go put a microphone up to somebody on the street and ask them what the best horror movies are of all time, name a top tight 5. This is one that, like, if you were born anytime between 1970 and 1995, it immediately comes out of your mouth. It's like, oh, Halloween and a couple of others that maybe I'll hold off on talking about for right now. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'm just too young. I mean, I'm not that young. I'm like in my almost mid 30s, but this movie is about a guy who very slowly walks from house to house and like stabs some people with a knife because he did it years ago and got put into a mental institution for killing his sister, and now he's come back on Halloween, which kind of cheesy. I mean, I get it. It's what it's about. It's the camp. But he's come back on Halloween because he's escaped and he's going to kill some teenagers, and he's invincible. And right when he's going to kill the last of them, we're going to kind of have like a Deus Ex Machina type situation so that she lives, and surprise, he's not dead. This is a franchise now. He will come back every Halloween from now on.
There's a lot of people who were supposed to be dead getting up off the ground in these movies. Not just Halloween.
So
all
this
of them.
is kind of like the start of that. But I'd also like, in an argument of this film, like that it wasn't supposed to be a franchise with Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Like the original conceit, like with a lot of these 70s and 80s slashers when they started, was like, this is a one-off thing, and if we do a sequel, it'll just be another story told on the same day. Specifically, like Friday the 13th and this. It's like Halloween 2 was supposed to be just a different killer on another day, another Halloween.
Yeah.
So I have a few things I wanted to say about this film real quick. It's the template. It set the standard.
Mm-hmm.
It created all of these tropes. And I think a lot of the reason why I was bored by it and not drawn into the suspense is just because I've seen it a million times now, because it's been remade over and over. I know we've talked about that a lot on this podcast so far. There was a lot I didn't like about it outside of that, like technical stuff. Like, I know it's from the 70s and there could be a lot of reasons for this. The sound mixing was terrible. I couldn't understand what anyone was saying. I don't know if I got a bad or like print.
No, I had that experience too.
Yeah. There were characters.
I didn't have that experience, but
oh yeah. Well,
music was
anything
really
the
loud
doctor
and the
said, I
vocals
couldn't
were
understand
not.
at all. So there were characters who just didn't feel like they did much. Like the doctor character felt totally superfluous. He was just there to say Michael Myers is scary.
And say, get your ass away from that door, kids, or whatever he says. Yeah.
And there's a lot of dialogue in the movie that is meant to be grounding and realistic that to me is just uninteresting and boring. Like, I don't know, all the talk about, my crush, the boy I have a crush on. I'm going to the dance later. Oh, Lori, you don't go to dances. You're the smart girl. You're all bookish and weird.
That's right.
My dad's going to find me smoking weed. And I'm just like, none of this matters. None of it pays off and none of it's interesting. And it just lost me. I just completely lost interest. And I was like a little zoned out until the end where it got more interesting, but the juice was not worth the squeeze at the end of the day.
Agreed. So to
it's
piggyback
a slow burn of a film for very little at the end. It's like everyone dies within the last 30 minutes.
That's right. That's
with
a
no
huge
real
problem.
Like jump scares or anything happening in the first hour. Like outside, so you get the opening and then it's say an hour of like setup for what is now also kind of boring kills.
Yeah, I was confused by his ability to, like, he is kind of he's mentally impaired in some way, right? Like, he seems like he's not with it. Like, even as a child, he stabs the sister, walks out of the house, and then there's like, what happened? And it's almost like he's not all there. And he cycles back and forth between like not being all there and being like
able to drive a car, even though he's been in prison since he was 8.
Yeah, he has shit like that. He has the disease that makes you kill people. I think they call it like at least like murder beaties. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just makes you kill people. It's the same
disease in Bird Box. You know, like this was actually the inspiration for the Bird Box.
Oh, it makes you kill yourself instead of kill people. No, I regard this movie with the same sense that I would regard, like, if I met Mick Jagger tomorrow, I'd be like, damn, you are a titan of rock and roll. None of this happens without you. I respect the hell out of you. I'd like to ask you a question or two. And I'd rather listen to an album in the rock genre that came out last year. That's just me.
I'm with you. I respect it, but I don't enjoy it that much.
Yeah. Now, where does that respect for the genre get us on the list? Because if I'm being dead honest, bro, I know this is blasphemous. If there's any, I don't mean this derogatorily. If there's any boomers listening,
can I pitch where I would put it first? Just
go.
It was my pick.
Yes.
We'll put it between Bird Box and Chopping Mall.
Really? You would put it there?
So here's the thing. Like,
is that your compromise, or is that where you want it?
That's kind of where I would put it, because like I like you guys were saying, I was gonna try and defend it more, but like you're ultimately right. Like the movie did a lot for the history of horror, but honestly, I'd rather rewatch other Halloween movies than I would this Halloween movie.
I would put this above,
even though those might not be
Yeah,
technically
me too.
better things. I'd also rather rewatch Chopping Mall. Here's the thing: Chopping Mall more entertaining throughout its runtime than Halloween is.
Sure.
That being said,
that's kind of where I was like, oh, we could put it below Chopping Mall and really fucking piss people off.
No. Okay, here's the thing. It is a vibes-based podcast, and the vibes of Halloween are more...
It deserves more respect than what I just showed it.
It does. Yeah. Which is crazy. I can't believe I'm arguing you up on this.
Yeah, I really... You were like, I love this movie. We were like,
I had to undersell it so it could get it up higher.
Yeah, dude. You were like, oh, I love this movie. We were both like, it's mid. And then you're like, I'd like to put it 2 down from the bottom. We're like,
oh, the bottom 3.
And then it's better than Chopping Mall.
I've won you over to rank it up higher.
I enjoyed Saw way more than I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed Insidious more.
Yeah, I'd rewatch Saw any day of the week.
I think I would put it between Chopping Mall and Saw. I think you're right. And I cannot believe that that's where you landed, Chaz. That's crazy.
Are we cool?
Here's the
Chaz,
thing.
are you
I'm
cool
good.
putting respect on its name?
No one else is
I'm
going to agree
probably
that that's
one
what
of
we're
the
doing.
few people on this podcast that loves slashers and a bunch of these franchises, even though they're mostly bad.
We'll get to that too. I don't like slashers as much. Like I have an AR-15 beside me. It's not a very compelling genre to me. I'm not saying I'm Billy Badass and would be able to defeat Mike Myers, but like the home invader genre is not something that is particularly compelling to me, and that's kind of what this movie is.
Yeah. No, I mean it's the start of that genre. Like, and I think there's movies that do it better than this film. I'm good with it being above Chopping Mall. But I will say I'd rewatch Chopping Mall before I'd rewatch
That's
Halloween.
fine.
9 times out of 10.
That's
We're driving some arguments
fine.
here.
I
feel bad putting it this low.
I don't. Oh, you want it even higher? It's worse
No,
than
I
Saw
don't.
to me.
I just feel bad.
It seems
we're here to break tradition.
Sacrilegious.
Yeah, I
to
guess.
put Halloween so low, and I knew that going into this podcast that it was going to end up there.
And that's why you picked it.
Did you not remember at the beginning where I said only we can judge? You don't have to worry about other people's opinions. They don't matter.
If you're listening to this, I'm not worried about other people's opinions. I just think it's hilarious how differing our list already is. The fact that the next two movies, like one of them, I think no one's going to have a problem with being ranked above Halloween. Yeah. The other one, I think, and also just saw Insidious and Paranormal Activity being ranked above Halloween, I think is going to piss off a ton of people. And I don't mind that that's going to happen.
Let's address this right now. This podcast is for us because no one is listening to it right now. If you got hate mail, you can find me on the internet at www.gofuckyourself.com.
I thought you were going to say
David,
like
that's
lemon
not an
party.
email address. It's David Bowers at
it's my website.
GoFuckYourself.com.
On that website, you will find my email address.
You should actually buy that domain then. I think GoFuckYourself.com might be harder to find.
It might be.
Edit that out. No, don't. It's fine.
People will rank this higher because of either nostalgia or this idea that we need to lift up the beginnings of a genre or form. And we don't. We can acknowledge that it had influence without being like, yeah, still the fucking best.
Yeah. Doesn't hold up. It just doesn't hold up. Some movies that set the template hold up. Star Wars holds up.
What's your movie?
I brought A Quiet Place, which I brought because I wanted to rewatch it because it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Gotta be quiet though.
Yeah. Quiet Place is
everyone whisper your opinions.
Oh, because
welcome to my ASMR podcast.
I once read a review of a podcast that I love where they did a bit like this, where they like slightly affected their voices, and they lost like a couple thousand weekly listeners because of it, because people were afraid it would continue. We're not going to do this. A Quiet Place. It's a movie where you have to be quiet in the place where the movie takes place, because there are blind sound monsters. If you've played Gears of War, it's that monster that can only hear you, and you have to trick it into running at you so that you can exploit its weakness while it's stunned. Except the weakness is not running into a pillar. The weakness is really loud, high-pitched, high-frequency. It's not super duper explained, but a sound that's beyond normal human hearing kind of fucks them up, where you can exploit them with their second major weakness, 12-gauge shotgun shells. And I like this movie.
It's a good film.
It's a very good movie. It really works on pretty much every level.
It's not explicitly a horror film. This is like a thriller action movie a little bit, and also a family drama that has horror embedded into it. And I think it is a great movie for that cause. This movie is Bird Box but good, or more Bird Box is this movie but bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You touched on two things. The first is that family drama is one of the most tried and true story dressings of horror, because we all evolved for kin selection, and so something that wants to eliminate your kin selection is like the most horrifying thing to you at the like molecular level. There's something there that we don't have time to talk about, but this movie does that very well. This is that subgenre of movie that's like, it has a monster in it, so it's horror. Like, Is King Kong horror? Sometimes it is. Is Godzilla horror? Sometimes it is. This is no different. This is humans versus monsters that are better than at killing than humans are, and they have to get creative. It does a damn good job at it. Krasinski didn't know he had directing chops like this at first. I don't know if he does the rest of these. There's a bunch of these. There's like 2 and 3 and a day one or some shit. It's definitely franchised out.
It's 2 and day one.
Okay, they're all pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
I've only seen 1 and 2, but I've enjoyed both.
2 is good, but not quite as good as 1. And then day 1 was right between them, but closer to this one. It was very good.
Okay,
I enjoyed it a lot.
Cool.
Anyway, we'll talk about those later. But
Yeah,
this movie, it's got a cool concept, a nice sci-fi hook, some awesome monster design that they put a lot of thought into, and a really good, tight script that is well executed.
Everything's set up early on, pays off in the final act. Like it does a great job establishing everything and then making it work at the end.
It follows its own rules. It has characters who are smart and make good decisions, and there are consequences when they make stupid ones, and the stupid ones are understandable and explainable. It's smart. They thought everything through. It's not lazy in any way, and it's really enjoyable. It's the best movie on this list so far.
I agree with that. I will say there is some.
I'm fine with it.
There is a like sizable amount of pushback to this movie. I always see this on Reddit as like, what's a horror movie everybody loves but you just don't, and this one's always on there, and it's on there because like, man, monsters just aren't scary. And to those people I'd say you missed the point. The monsters aren't what's scary. The fact that your dad died and now you've got to go through life with a newborn baby in a world where there are monsters is what's scary. The monsters are inconsequential.
Yeah,
other than
I think the reason
reality.
it gets pushed back as a horror film is kind of like what Aaron said. You don't think of it as a horror film at first. It is, but it's like, I think when you view this film, horror isn't the first genre that pops up to you, or even the second one, despite the fact that it is listed as that on IMDb.
Yeah, it met our criteria, baby. I got to rock this one. Let's go. I wasn't sure it was going to fit.
It fits. No, it does fit. It's a horror movie. The point of this movie is to make you feel dread, primarily.
And I think it does that. Like, it's got great tense moments. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, especially the final act is incredible. But once again, it's not a traditional horror film, and I think that's why it gets the pushback that it does.
It's also why it gets the praise it gets.
That's true.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things about this film, one of my favorite moments in this film, this whole movie feels like you're holding your breath. And it's because they almost literally are, right? They have to whisper the whole time. The moment when they're at the waterfall and their noise is canceled out and they can finally speak normally, like it feels like an exhale. Like after a long period of holding your breath. And
yes,
I think that is just such a cool thing to get out of a film. Like it's such good filmmaking.
Yes. And the fact that the little kid is terrified when that drops, it's because he's been raised in a world where you can never drop your guard. And his dad just told him, guess what? You kind of low key can drop your guard. You're old enough to understand this is one section where you can do that. And his dad dies the same fucking day that he teaches him that lesson. I haven't seen any of the subsequent films or even know if they're about the same family, but I'm curious to see if that gets paid off, whatever.
Part 2 is same family. Day 1 is
I would assume
totally
it's not.
unrelated to the other movies,
Day
as far
1
as I
is
can tell.
what happens in Manhattan during the initial strike of the meteors carrying the monsters.
Okay. Last thing I want to say about this movie, it's really cool to, people might say like, oh, it's how convenient that you have to be quiet. And this is a family that just knows sign language because it's a part of their everyday culture before this. Well, like, yeah, that's what makes it cool. I've heard that as a criticism. That's dumb criticism. It's survivorship bias, right? Like, these are the people who would be more likely to survive and therefore have a story.
It's like the planes coming back from World War II, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, where they had the ones that came back all had bullet holes in certain spots, and everyone was like, well, we should armor those spots. But no, it's the ones who didn't come back that got hit in all the other spots.
That's right. Those are the spots you don't need to worry about armoring. 100%. It's survivorship bias. They have a story because they already knew sign language, not we have a story, let's make it about somebody with sign language. All right. Moving on. This is 100% the best movie on the list today. I like Paranormal Activity more than this movie from a nostalgia standpoint, but this movie is objectively better.
Yeah.
Number one, right? We're all in agreement here.
We'll go and reveal it first.
Reveal what? Oh, my movie?
You didn't say the name of the movie.
Oh, no,
are we
still talking about?
We're still talking about Quiet Place. Did you just tell me that my movie's number one?
I thought that's what you were saying.
Talking.
Hold on.
That's what I thought you were saying.
Chaz and I
Did
were
I?
both.
Like you
Let's back this
switched
up.
your movies. No,
Quiet Place is the
Place
best
number
of the
one
ones
right
so
now.
far, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Okay. My final movie, my final pick, my objective good movie pick was The Exorcist, the 1973 juggernaut of a film that was so controversial that the very famous Reverend Billy Graham supposedly had boycotts and had people burning VHSs of it. And I think the novel as well. I haven't read this novel, but I'm looking forward to it. If you know the genre, even if you don't know the genre, you know this movie. This is an iconic one, and there's not much to be said about it that hasn't been said before. We can talk about how it's a metaphor for the changes of puberty that a young girl faces that feels like somebody now has control over their body. We can talk about the faith-based analysis. We can talk about the iconic special effects like the head turning around 180 degrees. We can talk about the spider walk, all the iconic scares. What I was so fucking surprised about, I haven't seen this movie in a long time. This movie holds up like a motherfucker to me.
It's great.
Yeah.
Everything about it works, and it so we kind of jumped the lead on it. It's number one. Like,
yeah, it's number one. Right?
Unequivocally, like, this is the best movie on our list so far.
I think I pretty much
deservedly
agree.
so.
I think Quiet Place is almost as good of a movie, but it's less of a horror film. But I think it's really interesting to talk about this one last because we were just talking about how dated Halloween felt, how it felt like this movie was slow and poorly paced, and it set the standard and created all these tropes that we're used to seeing, and so we found it boring. This movie is paced fantastically. It is still scary. It has special effects that still hold up, great writing, and it's 5 years before Halloween came out.
Yes, this movie is 52 years old.
That's crazy.
It sounds insane, but I mean, I guess that's what you get from a true like auteur like William Friedkin directing this horror film. And for those people that are maybe not familiar with Friedkin, like, he's not traditionally a horror director. He does a bunch of action movies mostly in the 70s and 80s and dramas. Like, he's got a great catalog that really has a range to what he did, and the fact that he can just step into this genre and knock it out of the park so well just speaks to his filmmaking ability. But yeah, Aaron's right. The pacing, story, everything about this movie works.
Agreed. I do think it's worth saying, like, it would be boring if the list's margins could never be beaten, while The Exorcist is the best movie on this list by and far. I actually think this movie has a substantial chance at being beaten because this is an infallible vibes-based podcast, and there are some movies out there that I can think of at least 3 movies off the top of my head that I think are better horror movies than this that I prefer, and we'll get to them. I'm not gonna
Let's
foreshadow
lead on
there.
that.
Fair enough.
Let's bury the lead. But this is the movie that when somebody says write down the first horror movie you think of, it's always this one.
That's definitely one of like 3 or 4 that everyone says for sure.
I mean, it's like this and then Halloween.
Yeah, I'm not even saying like the
away.
best. Just like, hey, name a horror movie.
It jumps into your head. This is iconic and deservedly so.
The little subliminal frame insertions of Pazuzu's face, which is just a dude in some makeup, by the way, and it's so fucking good. Those are actually genuinely scary. I like the idea of the guy who's way in over his head, having to bring in like the Catholic Church, and they also don't take him seriously. And so the mother is isolated. He's isolated. The daughter's the most isolated of all. It's just a good story. It's well executed. I mean, immaculately executed. 10 stars, 5 stars, whatever Yeah,
it
has
filled
something to
every
say.
category. I mean, it's, again, like you said, it's about puberty. It's about nobody believing little girls. It's about, sexuality. It's about the Catholic Church. And I don't know. There's so much to say about this movie. You could
It's
do
like a faith versus science. Like,
it's okay. To me, not faith for science, but it's if you believe in something, you better be willing to die for it. And the priest is not able to overcome the demonic possession until he decides that obviously where I was having a crisis of faith before, I undoubtedly believe in the devil now because I've been talking to the devil. And if I believe in this is my worldview. This is what I've signed up for. I'm a priest. I'm not a churchgoer. I'm a fucking priest. I am the help that this community has. If I'm going to do this, I have to do this. And he sacrifices his own life to rid Reagan of the possession. And there's something it's beautiful, right? It's just straight up somebody was willing to die for what they believed in as a self-sacrifice to help someone else. It's great.
And the fact that it was willing to go to the places it went to in 1973, that's crazy.
Yeah, frustrating that it was boycotted by a lot of big religious groups at the time. And like guys, this is like low-key kind of a Christian movie. Like I remember seeing this for the first time after my mom and dad telling me it was like a really evil movie. Like don't bring that movie into my house. And it's like, and I finally watched it and I'm like, wait, this is low-key a Christian movie. Like, yeah, the demon says demon stuff, but that's what they fucking do.
But God
like
wins.
this yeah, right. This is a Christian movie, kinda. I mean,
it does
God
have a
wins.
positive message about the Catholic Church.
It's
overall, it is
like
a good.
You can't beat demons unless you believe in God with all your heart. Like this is the movie we're boycotting. I understand she says some messed up stuff in it that I won't repeat on the podcast while she masturbates with a crucifix. But like that's
you'll
the
say that
point,
part though,
guys. I'll say that. Yeah, I'll say that part. But that's the point, guys. Like,
it's
great movie.
Yeah, it's a wild film and really, really insanely before its time. I know that's a cliche itself, but it very much was.
But it is. All right, so boys, we did it. That's 9 movies. That's the list. It only took us. That's an hour and 38 minutes of unedited audio right there. But we did it. 9 movies. How you feeling?
Feeling good.
Good.
Yeah.
Overall, I think the list is solid. It
is solid.
There's some things I disagree with overall, but for the
gonna
most part,
piss
everything's
people off.
exactly where it begins with, where it should be.
So I'm going to run down the list real quick and give everybody a little bit of a touchstone for where we're at. At number 1, we have the best horror movie of all time, for sure, The Exorcist. At number 2, A Quiet Place. At number 3, Paranormal Activity. Number 4, Insidious. Number 5, Saw. Number 6, Halloween. Number 7, Chopping Mall. At 8, we have Bird Box. And the worst horror movie of all time, probably for quite a while, boys, is The Human Centipede, the first sequence. Oh, colon. He
Colon.
Oh,
God.
He did it. Human Centipede, the first sequence, worst horror movie of all time, at least for now.
Saw the most
3 colons
okay
in there.
horror movie of all time.
Next week, we will be introducing a 10th movie to this list to round out our top 10. Boys, what are we going to do?
Next week, we will be diving into Smile from 2022, directed by Parker Finn. The classic movie that is inspired by trailers from other movies.
Ooh, I'm smiling already.
A director who somehow has 2 popular Gen Z names, or Gen Alpha names, actually. Parker Finn.
That's true.
Before his time.
Anyways, tune in next week for Cast into Hell.
Okay, bye. We're infallible. Remember.